Now, what I was trying to say as a segue from that is, where is the music? Where is it? If
Right,
this
right,
guy
right.
loves you so much and has got so much faith in you as a creative person, why has nothing come out when these brothers were giving that to you
So
on a silver platter?
right. So to add on to that, right? So you're asking where is the music? Why hasn't Tony Sunshine come out with an album at all? Right? It's literally been 25 years now.
Yeah,
He
with
hasn't
respect
dropped
to Fat
one
Joe
single
being the
album.
person, Fat Joe's supposed to be the person that has the power, has the knowledge, has the to give him that, right?
Right. But you know what's interesting is that, the Vlad interview you were talking about with Tony, at that time in that interview, he said that he had 7 different record deals,
Okay.
with Joe, right? And he delivered an album each time, but the album never
Okay.
came out. So you know how many years it's been since that? I mean, it's been at least 10 years since then, right? He left Joe and he reunited with Cuban. Remember? He was with Cuban and who's my man from Philly? Oh, I can't forget. The one that you said that let that thing off.
Crack.
Yeah, PD Crack. That's right. They were in that video together that one time, you know what I mean? And Tony was real happy to be back with Cuban and everything. But then eventually he fell on hard times and, people say all the drug usage and everything. And then he goes back to Joe, right? Now, Joe's recent album that he just released, Tony is featured on one song. And last year he was supposed to put out his Spanish album, supposed to come out in the summer, never came out. He just did an interview recently where he said that he didn't realize how difficult it is to go into the Spanish game. I don't know, but really the stuff that he was putting out, it wasn't getting as many views. I also saw that he was buying views because I proved it too. And it's just like, it's crazy because older artists, their fan base moves on in life because when you're young, you have all this time to support and everything. You can go buy the CD, go to the shows, and you live in that young life. You don't have responsibilities and stuff. But look at you, right? You just came home from work pretty much, right? You tired now. It's like, bro, you're not going to some performance or like, you got to think about, I got to pay for my kids' stuff. I'm not buying a CD. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like thinking about those things that were once important to me anymore, right? Because you moved on in life. So as an older artist, he's in a tough position now because you never put out an album, right? You got a little bit of work that people know you from. I don't even know if he's ever really put out a mixtape. Honestly, he's got songs here and there, and Tony is super talented, bro. There's no denying that. He can sing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I always give him that credit. He's talented, really, But at this point, if he puts something out, I would be surprised if he sell 5,000 copies. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he's an R&B singer, right?
But he
There's
raps a
two
lot
things.
now. He tries to rap a lot
He's
now.
always been a rapper. He's always rapped. Always. He's rapped even when. But my point is, he's an R&B singer. So there's two things that are positives for R&B singers that aren't for rappers. One, you can have ghostwriters. No one's ever going to look down on you because you're just singing what the person wrote, right? So you can get that easily. Then two, with his fan base is women. Women buy records. Women are known to be the forefront leaders in purchasing albums and making albums pop, right? So you got those two things behind you that a rapper doesn't constantly have. And then you have someone that could put you in position to make all this happen. So it's either one, you are just lazy as fuck, or two, they're not putting you in position. They just letting you hang by. Because if this person is continuously putting out albums and they're older than you and they're successful, then you can't use that excuse you just used. That excuse is null and void because that same person can make a lane for you the same way they made it for themselves.
Yeah, so but see, but Joe has had consistent work over the years. Like at this point, Tony has never had a CD
but this
out.
Is my point. He could have been consistently on all that work. He could have been doing a little one here, a little one there, a little one here, a little one there until he opened that door. Why did that not happen? Because that person doesn't want you in position.
Well, Joe made him his hype man now.
Yeah, he's been there for a couple years.
You're right.
Yeah, so I guess that's the way to keep him, under the wing.
I mean, you're
I,
making a little money off of that. So, I mean, at that point, it's like, even if Tony does know, kind of like,
but being an artist, you want to be in the spotlight.
right,
You want to be, you want to be in the same position as your people in, and be able to hold your own weight. Again, Pun came from being an underdog to being the overachiever and breaking all types of records. And he lined that up for Cube, which lined it up for both of them at the same time as well. That's the way it's supposed to go, man. That's the way it's supposed to work. You're supposed to put your people in position so that you can sit back and eat like a fat rat and have nothing else. You don't have to make any music.
right.
You can just eat off of them. And that's the nature of the business. So I feel like it's something not right there. It's just something that I don't know. I'm not, in that circle anymore, and I don't know what's going on, but it's just something not right there.
But I mean, you can ask the same thing, right? Like Remy came out of prison in 2016. Okay. Her and Joe put out one project together, right? Platas o Promos. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, she's never dropped a second solo album. She only had that first solo album back in 2004 or some shit like that, 2005,
Mm-hmm.
before she went to prison, right? So where is her album at? Like, where's her work? I know Joe recently just said that Remy had recorded a whole album that's going to come out soon, but really that many years, nearly 10 years.
Something ain't right over there, man.
So it's
Something's
a
not
little
right.
weird, but at this point, can you blame Tony for staying where he is?
No.
Because it's like, even if you
And that's
know,
not why I brought that up. I'm
right,
not bringing it up to say that, hey, you made a bad decision. I'm actually speaking about, his boss not actually doing what his job was and lining him up to make. Now, let's say he did that and it just kept not working for Tony. Like you said, he had all these albums that just weren't right, right? Again, something ain't right with the equation, though. If I guess you're moving behind times, you're not catching up to the speed of where things need to be to get him somewhere where he could be successful. I mean, R&B, he had that song, Tony, I should say, he had that song with Lumi D, and that skyrocketed. To this day,
right.
it's still like,
She's
it's
like the wind.
skyrocketed. Yeah.
No,
So,
actually, it's interesting. I just saw an interview recently of Joe, and Joe said that he had one regret, and that was with Tony Sunshine, that he didn't get his shine the way that he had deserved. That he hired all these people, all these best producers and writers for him, and some reason it just didn't work out. I don't know why, but that's what happened.
yeah.